Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Those of you that follow me on Instagram will know that I recently went on holiday to Morocco for 2 nights. I asked you if you wanted to see a haul video of everything that I picked up, and 95% of you voted yes. So I'm going to be filming everything that I picked up on holiday. I'm also going to be including prices and roughly whereabout I bought all of the stuff from. I know some of you are actually planning to visit Morocco in the upcoming weeks, so I'm hoping to get this video up for you as soon as I can so that you've got some, information of where to go and pick up these, pick up the best bargains, I'd like to say. So keep watching and everything's going to be in this video. Now, this was my 3rd trip to Morocco, and every time I've been to Morocco, I've always shopped in the main Medina in Jemaa El Fna, that's the big souk market. But this time around, I picked up a lot of stuff from Mellah. Now, Mellah is where all of the local Moroccans go. That's where they go to buy their spices, their household, goods, items that they use every day in their houses. And we went there on the recommendation of a taxi driver who he was just touting for, customers. And he said to us, why don't I take you there and you can have a look, because that's where we buy our spices from. So I was like, okay, we'll go and have a look. And I have to say, everything that we got from Mellah was really cheap. It was a lot cheaper than the prices that we would have paid in the main souk. So to start off with, I'm going to start with my spices. I picked up several different spices. So here, this is a 4-spice fish spice, basically. You use it to cook fish. I think it's got nutmeg, mace, ginger, something else, I can't remember, but it's a blend of 4 different spices. I also picked up some sumac. I picked up the really famous Ras El Hanout. This is for tagines. It's a blend of 35 different spices, and I actually got 2 of these. It's a really nice colour and it smelled really good, so I just thought I'd get 2. And I also got some lemon curry. And the last spice that I got was the smoked sweet paprika. Now, all of the spices, apart from the sumac, it worked out at 120 grams for 20 dirhams. Now, 20 dirhams is about £1.60, which is really cheap. This one was slightly more expensive. The sumac was 30 dirhams, which is roughly £2.40. Obviously, it depends on your conversion rate when you visit. But that was a really good deal, I thought. I got quite a few spices and I know that will last me a while. From the same shop, I will try to leave a photograph of the card that the guy handed me so that you can actually see which shop it was and whereabouts it is, and you can ask your driver to take you there. From the same shop, I got some saffron, and this is pure saffron. He actually tested it on a piece of paper for us and let us smell it, and you can be assured that you're getting a really good quality saffron. This is 1 gram here, so I got 2 grams, and this cost me, I think it was 90 dirhams, which is just under, maybe between £7.50 and £8, but it's a really good price. Anywhere you go in the world, saffron is really expensive, so that was a good deal. He originally asked for 50 dirhams each, and because I said I would take 2, I got them for 45, but I actually think you could drive that price down a little bit more. After speaking to some of the locals, they said that they buy their saffron for about 35 dirhams, so definitely barter if you can. I had very little time, otherwise I probably would have shopped around and gone back and asked him for my price, but because I was short on time, I was only there for 2 nights, I didn't have time to actually do that. So yeah, just give you guys the heads up. This is, I'm sure this is khalizira. It's Kalonji. It's like nigella seeds, but this is what they use. They use it almost like a menthol kind of, it's not really a rub. You basically get some of the seeds, you put them on your palm and you rub them like this, and then you put the seeds into a cloth, you hold it like this and you twist it and you sniff it, and it really unblocks your nose. And oh my God, it's really strong. It's really potent stuff. I can't remember how much I got this for. I think it was about 40 dirhams. And the guy in the shop told me that this will last for as long, it will last for a good 4 or 5 years. So you never throw the seeds away after you've used them. Just pop them back, keep them stored in an airtight container, pop them back in the container. And anytime you've got a bunged up nose, you've got a cold, just, rub it on your palm, take a sniff of it, and then you can reuse it. So yeah, and the cloths came with that, so I was really pleased with that. I also picked up some royal tea from the same store. Royal tea is different to the Moroccan mint tea. He allowed us to have a sample of the tea, and it's quite nice, and it came in this big bag, and this big bag cost us 50 dirhams, which is roughly about £4, and the tea has dried rose in it. It's also got star anise, if I show you. It's also got star anise and some other types of leaves and things. I don't know exactly what the blend is, but it's very nice, and he actually made the tea for us with some honey, and it tasted really good. So I thought I would get that, because Moroccan mint tea, you can get it in a lot of places. So all of the spices, the tea and the saffron were from that first shop that I went into. Across the road they had another spice shop, and from the other shop I picked up this argan oil. In the spice shop that I bought the spices from, they quoted me 70 dirhams, which is about £6.50 I think, roughly. But in the shop that I got it from, the guy quoted me a price of 50 dirhams, which is £4. So I picked this up for £4, and I also picked up some buhoud, and this smells really, really nice. It's a shame I didn't pick up some more, because I wish I did now. I think I picked up 30 grams for about 30 dirhams, which is about £2.40. But the guy was lovely in there, and he gave me 20 grams extra, so I think I've got about 50 grams in here, because he gave me a little bit extra. So those were from the shop across the road. I don't think I got a card for that shop, but you'll know which one it is because it's directly opposite. I'm going to show you some of the other crockery that I got while I was in Mellah. There's a really nice shop that does a lot of white china, and I picked up lots from there. So while we were still shopping in Mellah, we came across a shop that was selling a lot of dinnerware, and I picked up these platters from the shop. The spice shop is on the corner, and if you keep walking straight down the road, you'll come across this shop. It's just got lots of white, platters and dishes and things. This platter that I got here was 20 dirhams. It works out about £1.60, which was really cheap, I thought. The only problem was this was the last one. I did actually want to pick up two, but because he didn't have any more, I just picked up the one. He had a different design which had rosettes on it, but the rosettes were also along the bottom, and I didn't like the fact that it was really busy looking, so I just picked up this one. I also picked up two of these larger platters, and as you can see, it's still got the price on it, 30 dirhams, which is only £2.40, and I thought this was really, really cheap, and I picked up two of those. And you can use it to serve anything really, must be done, fried fish, vegetables, curry, whatever you want. I picked up this small floral flower, I don't know what it is, dish. This was only 8 dirhams, which is, I don't know, 60 or 70p, which is really cheap. And I picked up this divided kind of like dish, which I really like. It's in the shape of a flower. It has these floral motifs, and this was 50 dirhams. I think he charged us 45 for it, which is just under £4, maybe about £4.70, £4.60, and it's really gorgeous. And the last thing that I picked up was this platter, round platter in white. It's just got really nice embossed design. And I can't remember how much this one was. I think it was about 30 or 40 dirhams, which works out between £2.40, £3.20. So still really cheap. And all of this was from that one shop. Now, I know some of you might be wondering why I went and got lots of white, dinnerware. It's because the first time I went to Morocco, I bought lots of the Moroccan themed stuff. And in reality, I don't actually use that a lot. I tend to use a lot more white dishes when I'm entertaining. So when I came across this shop, I thought there's no point me buying really fancy Moroccan crockery because I don't get as much use out of it. So that's why I went for all the white stuff. And if, like me, you like white and it goes with, most of what you've got in your kitchen, you'll find that you'll use it a lot more, and it makes sense to invest in things that you're going to use. I also bought some scarves, which I will show you now. Move that out of the way. These were also from just a man that had them on the street. He was selling them, and they were all priced between 20 dirhams, which is £1.60, and 40 dirhams, which is £3.20. So I bought all of these together, and I can't remember exactly how much he charged, but it was something like 160 dirhams, which was about £10-12. But they were really nice, and they were really nice soft viscose fabric. These three are the same, so they've got kind of like that tassel-y edge. This one has a plain edge, it's got no tassels. This one has a fringed edge, it's like a dusky pink kind of colour. And this one has tassels, but it's a much finer tassel. And they're in that kind of soft viscose fabric that I know I will wear. Now, you can get these scarves in Jemaa El Fna, and they do work out a little bit cheaper, but the guy that we bought them from, he was a very elderly man, and I was quite happy to pay him a little bit more because, you know, he's trying to earn a living. So when you're out there, sometimes think about, you know, the single individual who's trying to sell goods and make a living, rather than give it to a business that's well established. If you can, try and support, you know, people that are just selling on stalls by themselves, because they really do need that money. So one of the last things that I picked up in Mellah was this small enamel spoon. You can find these in the souk, you can find them everywhere. And I think this was 20 dirhams, but I picked it up for 15. So that's about £1.20. It's just really cute, nice to use for your tea, your coffee, sorry, excuse me. Or you can just keep it in your sugar jar, which is what I do with the one that I got on my first holiday. On the way back from Mellah, we passed by a hardware store, and they were selling these really gorgeous coat hooks. You can use them for anything. I picked them up so that I could use them in my bedroom, because I've got a vintage shabby chic theme in my bedroom, and I just thought I could use it to hang either ornaments, hang my necklaces, or even, you know, clothes if you wanted to, or you could use them inside your wardrobes. And I picked up 3 of those, and they were priced at 25 dirhams, which is about £2, but I picked up 3, and the guy in the store was really nice. He sold them for 65 dirhams. So definitely bargain. If you pick something up, always try and get it for a little bit less. Sometimes walking away works a treat, and they will call you back and they'll say come back and take it. So we didn't have to do all of that in the hardware store. The guy was like, okay, sorry, you know, you can have them for 65 dirhams. On the way back, we also stopped in a small shop that was selling jewellery, and I picked up this bangle, which is Berber silver. It's not pure silver, it's a mix of metal and silver, so it's not supposed to lose its colour, but obviously time will tell. And I don't know if you can see the design. I just thought it was quite nice, and it's something that I know I will wear. And this was 150 dirhams, which is £12. Now, I actually think that was a bit pricey in hindsight, but when I was out there, I went to the Boucher complex. I talked about it on my Insta story, and I saw a really nice bangle in there, but that was so expensive. It was £170 for a pure solid bangle. So this was kind of like my consolation, you know, consolation bangle, because I wasn't going to spend £170 on a silver bangle. It was just too much. I couldn't justify it. But yeah, I really like this, and I hope it does keep its colour. I also picked up one other piece of jewellery, which was this necklace, which again is Berber silver. And we were staying at Hotel Shems, and on the way through the Kutubia Park, there's, the Kutubia Mosque, as you pass, there are always some sellers just by the mosque that put their goods out on the actual ground, and they're there every single day. And I bought this from one of the sellers there, and I paid 70 dirhams for this, which is about £5.60. I don't know if it's a bargain or not, but I really liked it. And again, it's Berber silver. The top of the necklace is like this, which I quite like because it's unusual. And it's something that I know I will definitely wear. It's got green and blue and that kind of terracotta enamel design on it. So yeah, that was 70 dirhams. I picked up these key rings on the last day we were flying back out. These were 10 dirhams, which is basically 80p each. And sometimes it's a good idea to pick up a few extra key rings or magnets. We also bought some magnets, but I'm not sure where they are. They're just very basic Morocco kind of fretwork magnets. And those were about 10 dirhams each as well. But it's always nice to just pick these up in case there's somebody that you've forgotten about, and you can just hand out some key rings. Now, from the main Jemaa El Fna souk, I bought some sandals. I didn't buy a lot this year from Jemaa El Fna. Like I said, everything was mainly from Mellah. And lots of you saw my sandals on my Insta story and you were in love. This was the pair that I bought the very first day that we landed. And I can't begin to tell you how comfortable these sandals are. I walked for 2 days in them on the day that I bought them and the next day and the day after, actually 3 days. And they were so comfortable. I didn't get any kind of blisters or anything like that. Because they're real leather, they were just so soft. I did have to have the strap cut down a little bit because they were a bit long. But other than that, they were really good. And I paid 140 dirhams for these, which is £11.20. Now, I actually think I could have got them cheaper, but because I like them so much, and because the guy knew that I liked them so much, he wasn't kind of like budging on the price. I picked these up from, these sandals I picked up from the artisanal indoor shopping centre that I showed you guys on my story. I will try and find out the name for it, and I'll try and leave a link or the name in the description box below. These were only 100 dirhams, which is £8, which I thought was a really good price. But to be honest with you, I still like these, even if they were £11.20p. They were a nice design, and I was happy to pay that price because I wouldn't get real leather sandals for £11 here. So yeah, those were my 2 sandals. I also picked up these Arabic calligraphy name frames for my children. These were priced at 50 dirhams each, which is about £4. We picked these up from the artisanal centre where I got my second pair of sandals, you know, the pair that I bought for 100 dirhams. And there's somebody that sits there, you just give them the names of what you want in the frames. You can actually buy the cards without the frames and it works out cheaper. You can get the Arabic calligraphy cards with the names on for 30 dirhams. Excuse me, for £2.40. But I decided I would get the frames because I didn't want to come back and start shopping around for frames that would fit the card. It just seemed a lot easier to actually buy the name cards with the frames. So we got 4 of those, and it took them about 15 minutes. So while we shopped around, they had that done for us, and they're quite busy. And you can choose different calligraphy cards. So I chose 2 in this design with this kind of like border, and then I chose 2 in that design. So yeah, they were quite nice. So if you're interested in bringing something back for maybe your children, or just, you know, as gifts for maybe friends, it's a nice place to go and pick up something, and they can just hang it up on the wall and they've got a memory of Morocco. And these were the last things that I bought from Jemaa El Fna. This was the only shopping that I did from the main market square. Everything else, like I said, I bought in Mellah. I bought these wooden spoons. They're really small. So these were all one size. I bought 6 of these. And the reason why I got 6 of these was so that I could actually use them in my spice jars. I've got fennel seeds in here. And I can just use them like a teaspoon. And I would just keep them in the actual jar itself. So I picked up 6 of those knowing that I could put them to use. I really thought they were cute. You can use them for ground spices as well. And I paid 5 dirhams each for these, which is about 40p. But in hindsight, I think I should have paid less. I should have paid more, like 2 or 3 dirhams. Inside the main souk, the main market square, they were selling a much bigger size for 5 dirhams. So I think I probably paid a bit more than I should have. But like I said, time was short and I didn't have a lot of time to actually shop around, but that will give you an idea of what you should pay. I also picked up these 2. So this is like a honey drizzler. This the guy asked 20 dirhams for, which is £1.60. I ended up getting it for 10 dirhams, which is 80p. I also paid 10 dirhams for this. But like I said, you could probably get these cheaper. You could probably pay 8 dirhams, you know, 9 dirhams, which is about 70p, 80p. So definitely shop around. Off of the same stall, and the thing is, I can't be accurate which stall it is because there are so many, but you can have a look around and see if you can spot similar items like this, just so that you get a rough idea of what you should be paying. I got these small cutters. You can use them on fondant, you can use them on pastry, you know, anything really. And I got 5 different designs, and these were 1 dirham each, which is basically about 8 to 10p, and I thought they were really cute. I also picked up this cookie cutter, which is reversible, so you can use it on both sides. He originally asked me for 20 dirhams, which is about £1.60. I ended up getting it for 10 dirhams, which is 80p. So I thought that was really good. And because everything's made of brass, it just looked so pretty, and it looks like it's going to last. So that was from one stall, all of that. In the main souk, there was a small girl selling these baskets, and I picked them up, you know, just thinking that I could use them for serving bread or just storing things in. And they were being sold as sets of 2, and I picked up the set of 2 for 15 dirhams, which is about £1.20. And the last thing that I got after somebody recommended it on Instagram was this exfoliating scrub mitten. So it's quite soft, but it's also slightly, you know, textured. You basically put your soap on, you foam it up, and then you exfoliate your face with it. They actually had a rougher, a different one with more of a rough surface, which was for the body, and I don't know why I didn't pick that up. This I only paid 5 dirhams for, which is about 40p, and I think the other one is slightly bigger. It's 10 dirhams, but yeah, you could probably get it for 5 dirhams as well if you bargained. So that was everything that I bought from Jemaa El Fna. So that was everything that I bought on my holiday while I was out in Morocco. One piece of advice that I would give you is not to go and buy everything from the very first shop that you go into. I've done this on several occasions. I've gone into a shop, seen something, you know, the shop assistant has asked me what price I'm willing to pay, and I've thought I've got a really good bargain, walked out, walked further along and seen, you know, the same item being sold for less. So if you do like something, don't make it really obvious that you like it. Just tell them, you know, that's the first shop you've gone into, you want to have a look around, but try and get their best price, try and get their last asking price, go out of the shop, go and have a look somewhere else, and then you can judge whether or not you're getting a really good price. Sometimes they will quote you ridiculous prices, like 3-4 times what you should actually be paying. So don't try and think to yourself, okay, in England this is what this costs, and think you're getting a really good deal, because in Morocco it should be a lot less. So yeah, don't, you know, impulse buy like I sometimes tend to. If only I could take my own advice. But yeah, that was everything, and I hope this video gives you an idea of roughly what you should be paying for goods while you're out in Morocco. And at the end of the day, if you really like something, it's what you're willing to pay, you know, for the item. If there's something that's really unique and you can't find it anywhere else, it might be an idea just to pay the price that the vendor is asking for. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. So I hope you guys found this video really helpful, and it helps you give you an idea of prices and places that you might be paying or visiting while you're out in Morocco yourself. So until next time, see you guys. Assalamu alaikum.